And then Josh Dobbs. Let's talk about him real quick, Wes, because some people are having some conversations about, hey, Josh Dobbs has been freaking awesome. Like,
oh yeah,
what are we doing? What do we do here with Josh Dobbs, Wes?
Well, I want to just kind of provide some of the context. This is a request. Some people were reaching out to us like, can you please answer the question, do I start Josh Dobbs over X quarterback? Because right now, we're about to head into the final stretch to make playoffs for our teams, and Josh Dobbs could be your answer. So
Yeah,
I'm going to rattle off. How does this sound? I'm going to rattle off some quarterbacks, and then you say that player or Dobbs if you'd rather start that.
yeah,
okay.
Let's do it. Yeah,
Start with some of the easier ones just to make it clear of who Josh Dobbs shouldn't be started over. But Josh Allen.
Oh, okay.
Zach Wilson, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Start Zach Wilson, yeah. I would still start Josh Allen.
Of course. I know he had a terrible game on Monday night, but still start him. Jalen Hurts.
Yep, still start Jalen Hurts.
Tua.
Still starting Tua.
Justin Herbert.
Let me provide some context real quick. I know Tua is up and down, but Tua is quite literally 3 plays away from a 30-point fantasy week any given week.
Any
with
play
how this
could be a
offense
touchdown.
goes,
Right.
3 and yeah. So if he hits 3 plays in a game, it's 30 points. So I'd still go Tua. What was the next one you said?
Justin Herbert.
I would still go Justin Herbert.
Yep. Joe Burrow.
I would still go Joe Burrow.
Okay. Dak Prescott.
I would still go Dak Prescott. His schedule down the line is fantastic. It's unbelievable, and he is.
CeeDee Lamb is playing.
Yeah.
You got to roll out Prescott.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, those were also some of the obvious ones, and now here are a couple of borderline ones, and then I'm going to close with 2 that I think you should start Josh Dobbs over, and I want to hear your reaction. So here are the middle bar here: C.J. Stroud or Josh Dobbs.
I would start Josh Dobbs.
You would start Josh Dobbs. Could you please explain? Because I think I would go Stroud.
Yeah, I think we've seen 2 very good games and a season full of very, very good quarterback play from C.J. Stroud. And I know he did run in a touchdown on Sunday, but Josh Dobbs has the rushing floor, and it's pretty unbelievable. He has 25-plus rushing yards and a touchdown in each of his last 4 games played. Like, he has essentially, and 25 is the low end. Usually those other 3 games are between 45 and 65 rushing yards. So he has the 8 to 14-point rushing floor on him, pretty much, and so I believe that provides the value for Josh Dobbs to remain over C.J. Stroud. We've seen some really good weeks from C.J. And this team is legit. They look very good. I think the Texans have a chance to make the playoffs, if I'm being honest. But I would still go Dobbs over C.J. Stroud right now.
I think there's a chance that C.J. Stroud does get into a 30 to 40 point game every now and then, just with the way he's been balling out. And if you want to go with a higher ceiling, I think Stroud is an option. But just as you're saying, the rushing upside's crazy. Josh Dobbs is 2nd in quarterback rushing yards this season.
Insane.
And he's tied for 3rd most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. He's crazy good. Go ahead.
I think Josh Dobbs is playing his way into a contract extension from the Minnesota Vikings.
Dude,
I'm so serious
about that.
Like, if they make the playoffs, I don't know how they can sit there and go, no, we're going to move on. Like Dobbs is doing something for them.
The age difference between him and Kirk Cousins. Like, there's going to be a team next year that is, in their mind, a quarterback away from making a run. The way that the Jets attempted to try to do this season with Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be someone out there that's going to say, look, we need to just get a quarterback to get us through. We've got the defense. Maybe Cousins is shipped and Josh Dobbs.
Cousins is a free agent this offseason. So
he's a free agent.
Right. So I hope he gets a contract somewhere with someone. I wonder how willing teams will be to bring in a 38-year-old quarterback off of an Achilles tear. I think he's 38, I believe.
The Colts would.
Probably.
Did it 3 years in a row.
They did it 3 years, yeah. Rivers, Wentz, Ryan. Gosh, that was terrible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Josh Dobbs is fantastic. Let's go. Let's continue. What you said. You had a couple more.
Yeah. Sam Howell or Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, I think I'd still go Dobbs. I think I would. I think that. I think there are going to be enough games for the Vikings where they need to they need to remain in the game. Same with the Commanders, I believe as well. But I just like the weapons on the Vikings more. That's actually pretty close. That's almost closer than C.J. Stroud and Josh Dobbs for me. But I think it's a little. I think it's a little tough. But I think I would go Josh Dobbs over Sam Howell.
It could be matchup circumstantial. If you're the player that has only Sam Howell and Josh Dobbs as your quarterbacks, I think you're okay no matter who you start.
Yeah.
But let's say they're both on the waiver wire for whatever reason still, I'm
going Josh Dobbs. If they're both there for me and I need a quarterback, I'm going to go Josh Dobbs, yeah.
Okay. Last one, because I didn't say his name, and he's arguably the best player in the NFL, but would you start Josh Dobbs over Patrick Mahomes? There's a pause. How about that, huh? You probably can't. You got so much upside with Mahomes.
No, you can't. I think
you can't.
I don't know if we're riding a high. I don't think we're riding a high with Josh Dobbs. But I'll tell you what. If I had Mahomes on my team and Josh Dobbs was on the waiver wire, I would put in a claim. Not to drop Mahomes, but I would add Josh Dobbs to my roster if he was available. That's where I'll put that at. I mean, with Mahomes being past his bye week, I don't know how you can ever look at a matchup and go, that's a better one or whatever. But especially with we've seen Mahomes be disappointing for the last two, but then he had a few going there that were like, yeah, this is the guy we drafted.
Right. It's recency bias from Mahomes because in week 9 against the Dolphins, it was, and I'm reading off a 6-point scoring for passing touchdowns, less than 20 points, 19.8. So you subtract, another 4 points, you're looking at a 15-point game from Mahomes. Week before, 5 points, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think it's the Broncos. So we got those two in our back of the mind. It's like, Mahomes has been kind of down. Week before, it was 41 points.
Yeah.
So you roll out Mahomes, even though he's been kind of down. Okay, last two.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you why you should start Josh Dobbs over these two players, and I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think you should start Josh Dobbs over Trevor Lawrence. Josh Dobbs, last 3 weeks, again, 6-point scoring touchdown, 27 points per week the last 3 weeks, all right? He's on a roll. Josh Dobbs is great. Trevor Lawrence has never had a 22-point game this entire season in 6 points. If you do 4-point scoring for passing touchdowns, which most people are doing, Trevor Lawrence has yet to put up a 20-point game. Not even 20 points. So I think you should start Josh Dobbs over Trevor Lawrence. What do you say?
I'm dropping Trevor Lawrence in a league that I have him in this week.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I stashed Kyler Murray, and I was pretty excited about seeing what Kyler did on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. He looked good. Fantasy performance may not have been everything we hoped for, but he did look good. Looked good running the ball. I have zero reason to keep Trevor Lawrence. He has been a great professional NFL quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. He has been terrible. He's been a terrible fantasy quarterback this year. I am so disappointed in how his year has turned out. Absolutely, you start Josh Dobbs over Trevor Lawrence going forward.
If you have Trevor Lawrence and you don't have Josh Dobbs, get Josh Dobbs or you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it feels right now. Last player.
100%.
I think maybe we need to consider starting Josh Dobbs over Lamar Jackson. All right? It's been 3 straight weeks for Lamar Jackson. Here's my pitch. Lamar, 3 weeks in a row, is averaging less than 13.5 points in a 6-point scoring system. You subtract a few more points and a 4-point, and it's even worse. Josh Dobbs is on a roll, and you look at the way the Ravens' rushing attack is, they are moving with anybody that carries that football. And Zay Flowers, as good as he is, not much is happening there. Mark Andrews had another down week, and OBJ is non-existent except for one lucky touchdown. I think it's legitimate to start Josh Dobbs over Lamar Jackson right now. Might be recency bias, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, what's the reason we all love Lamar Jackson? We love him for fantasy football. It's the rushing upside, right? Josh Dobbs has had better rushing upside than he has over the last 4 weeks. He's done more. He's done more with his legs than Lamar Jackson has. And he's I don't know, let's say a more talented passer, but he has, I believe, better weapons. He has better, a better scheme to fit a fantasy football quarterback, maybe. I agree. Absolutely. I think if you're a Lamar Jackson owner and you're not thrilled with how your weeks have been going, Josh Dobbs absolutely should be a guy you could maybe pick up off the waivers, maybe try and make a trade for. Keep Lamar. Yeah. Don't get rid of him. Maybe things turn around. He's always Lamar might be like the Tyler Lockett of quarterbacks. Like it might just be like when you draft him, you know that it's going to be hot and cold. You know you're going to get your 10-point games. You also know you're going to get your 40-point games. Like it's just that sort of thing. So
yeah,
I think I'd just rather take Jalen Hurts, who has the safe floor and the elite ceiling. So there you go.
One last point, and
go for it.
Then we finish up the rest of our show because we still got a lot to do here. Okay, blind test. Would you rather have the quarterback that has Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson, or do you want the guy that has Zay Flowers? And do you want the quarterback that's second in rushing yards and third in rushing touchdowns?
Yeah,
that's Josh Dobbs, baby.
It's exactly what you're saying. Yeah, no, it completely adds up. The weapons are incredible. Todd Monken's letting us down with this passing attack. Gosh, just friggin' Monken, dude. What a jokester.
Funkin' Monken?
Funkin' Monken, dude. Funkin' Monken.